that we do for others in times, challenging times. This is one of them. We're experiencing severe weather that we've not experienced in many years. Thanks to everyone who is staying home. There are many roads that are not seeing a lot of traffic right now. That's helping us get the roads clear, and that's keeping you safe as well. We'll talk more about that. So thanks for to everyone that's heeding our warning. As of right now, we've got 200 folks across Louisville Metro government that have been working all day, that are working through the night to cover all 110 of our snow routes. That's 2,700 of lane miles throughout the entire county. As of right now, all but just a couple have had at least one pass on the road today. We started this morning by salting all of the roads, and then since about noon, all of the trucks that have been out have been both plowing and salting the roads. I rode today with Deshaun, we were plowing on Hurstbourne Lane. We are on Fern Valley, Poplar Level, Hurstbourne Lane. And as he said, we are going to get this done. We have an extremely committed snow team that is working hard day and night to clear the roads, and that's going to continue through this evening. And it's important to remember that because of the speed of the accumulation of the snow throughout the day, because of the freezing rain that's coming down on us right now, just because we've made one pass at the roads does not mean that it's safe to get out there and drive on yet. I've been seeing stranded motorists all across the city all day. I saw a car that was stranded literally in the middle of the Watershed Expressway that cars had to go around both ways. We saw an accident happen. We were driving on 65 North. A car was driving 65 South, and it was scraping up against the wall. We've seen people that are stranded on all sorts of different streets. So please, unless you have to, stay home. We're going to talk a little bit more about some of the numbers of responses that we've had here in a moment. It's important to note that we've prepared for this storm by lots of people working many long hours here at Metro Safe, at Public Works, in our Parks Department, Fleet and Facility, Codes and Regulations, Firehouses, LMPDs, and everybody. And I just want to thank our entire team throughout all of Louisville Metro government. We're going to continue to talk more about what we've done and what we're doing, but let's get right to John Gordon with the National Weather Service to tell us a little bit about what we've seen throughout the day and what we can expect going into the overnight hour. Again, for people's safety, not everyone is here with us today. We've got a few people that are joining us virtually for this briefing. John's one of those folks. Let's see if the technology works and turn it over to John Gordon from the National Weather Service.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, the snow came in just as we expected. I see the slides behind you, so I know it's working good. We've had about 6 to 7 inches of snow in the metro, and right now is the most complicated part of the entire forecast. Okay, the snow is easy to forecast. So across the metro right now, if you're in places like Fairdale and up against the Bullitt County line, you're experiencing freezing rain and sleet. If you're in Anchorage and Middletown like me, I'm getting sleet and moderate snow. The cold air from the north is colliding there with the warm air to the south right around the metro. It's going to be very complicated the next 6 to 7 hours. Overnight, less complicated. Light freezing drizzle before we get more snow in the morning. Let's go through the slides here. I'll go slowly on these. We still have the warning out. You see the high. I don't know what more we can do. It's happening. It's going to happen. And the worst part of the storm is really the next 7 to 8 hours. This will end tomorrow afternoon, and we'll go from there. As you can see, we have significant impact all across the metro with, as the mayor said, sleet, snow, and now freezing rain. There's a lot of ice accretion. If you go down to Elizabethtown, they're getting 1/4 to 1/3 of ice right now, okay? Litchfield, Hodgenville, it's there. It's right on the edge. So obviously snow is better than ice, right? So let's hope for more snow. All right, so we'll continue. Let's go to Louisville, line 4. You see right now we're continuing the mix that will continue through about 2 or 3 in the morning, and then we'll slowly transition with light freezing drizzle overnight. And then maybe mid-morning, we'll get another 1 to 2 inches of snow tomorrow morning. Be out of here 1, 2 o'clock tomorrow, hasta la vista, and then we get the cold right behind there. So, next slide. You see the 6 to 10 inch swath. I still think that's a good number. Louisville, Mr. Mayor, I say at your house, we're going to get 9 to 10 inches right across the metro. On the south part of Louisville, up against Bullitt County, I think you'll be in the 6 to 7 inch range. If you're up against the Oldham and Clark and Floyd County line, I think you'll be more in the 11-inch thing. There's a very, very tight gradient, and I wish UPS flies could get us some data right off the deck. That would really help us figure this out. It's very complicated, honestly, right now. All right, here's the ice right in the metro. I still think a half inch is your target. Further to the south, up in the Bullitt County line, you could get 2/3, maybe 3/4. Up to the north, a quarter to maybe 1/3 of an inch. Big difference in the metro. You wouldn't think that was such not a wide county, but that's the way it is right now. We'll hit a couple more things. Wind. The wind this evening, you get some gusts around Ali International's been gusting around 20, 21 at times. We'll see maybe gusts in the low 20s. That will continue through maybe early afternoon and then down, decreasing most of the week. The wind chill is not going to be a huge issue. It's tonight and tomorrow morning. All right. Let's go to the next one. This has the whole enchilada on there. Temperatures remain below freezing through Friday. That's a long time. I think we're still too warm. If you go to Louisville, that's 4 from the bottom. We have 4 on Thursday morning. If I was betting on DraftKings, I think your low will be 2 below. All right? When you have a snow and ice pack and a clearing skies, you're going to go cold. So I think we'll be colder. The one thing I do want to emphasize on this briefing is that this Friday, there still is a potential for snow. My guys and I are trying to focus on this storm right now, but I think I'll say this for you, Matt, minor accumulation, we'll say right now. Not a major storm, but minor accumulation at this time. Most of the wind chills will not be significant because the winds are way down, but Thursday morning will be the coldest, affecting the homeless folks and everyone out and about across the city. Thursday morning, we'll have lows between 5 below and 10 above 0. And once again, the safety that we've been hitting, the mayor said, I strongly discourage driving. I'm going to have to go in tonight only because I have to. Smart, stay home. Don't go out if you don't need to. There is just no reason to go out. The most difficult part, as I finish up, turn over to the mayor, this is the most complicated part of the forecast. If you're in the south part of Louisville and you're up against Bullitt County and up to the southwest in Hardin County, a lot more ice. If you're on the north side, more snow and sleet. So we'll be updating Metro government and all of our partners in the next 6 to 7 hours. I know it's complicated for Jennifer and their gang. I'm telling you, Matt, it's going to be a challenging forecast because you have a range across the metro, and that will continue. If you look at your favorite weather app, if you see the yellow, sleeting. If you see less than yellow, that's freezing rain. Okay, that's how you know. Just look for yellow. You're going to look like. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, John. Really appreciate your continued information that you're providing to us and to others around the entire metro area. Really just taking on what John just said, please be patient. As you can hear, this weather event's going to continue through tomorrow afternoon, but then it's going to stay cold. That makes it difficult. So for our roads crew, we're going to have to continue to go over and over and over the roads to get this right. So please bear with us. And again, stay at home as long as you can. Just because we've touched the road, just because we've plowed them once, doesn't mean they're yet safe yet to go on. We also, we've got a lot of Metro employees, hundreds of people that are working on the roads and in other ways to keep Metro government functioning throughout this weather event. We've got people that are taking people to and from work that have the appropriate vehicles that can do that more safely. I want to give a special thanks to our fleet and facilities team that is keeping all the vehicles out on the road when there are mechanical issues, to our library staff, which has done a great job keeping libraries open so that they can be a warming center for individuals that are needed, to John Pilbeam and everyone with our homeless service division who's been out and about helping provide outreach to homeless individuals to get them into warm areas and to get them into shelters. If you see somebody that's in need, you're not sure what to do, it's simple. Call 311. And they can help you get them in touch with the right resources that we need. We continue to operate under white flag. John mentioned it's going to stay cold all week. We'll stay under white flag operations, which means that our homeless shelters are available to continue to help bring people in from the warm that need a place. And then also, as you heard, with the ice beginning to fall, as it is right now, I just got in not too long ago from being outside, and it definitely is falling. Our biggest concern is, one, the roads that we've been talking about, but also potential power outages. So we're continue to stay in touch with LG&E. So far during the day today, we have not had any significant power outages, but that's something that we're going to stay attuned to overnight with ice falling. We're working to make sure all of our emergency backup plans are in place, including generators and backup sessions. We're going to keep working on the roads. Again, so I want to talk a little bit more about the roads here, and then I'm going to turn it over to Matt. We're going to keep overnight, we're going to keep working on the roads, plow and treatment. Folks like Deshaun that I was with today, as he was driving and plowing the roads and salting the roads, they're working on 12-hour shifts. So from 7 to 7 right now, we've got folks out there working, getting some rest, and coming back. They're going to keep at it until we get that job done. Thanks so much to Deshaun and everyone for doing that. Also, in terms of coverage, we've got Louisville Metro government working on it. We also have the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. It's a partnership. Kentucky Transportation Cabinet covers our interstates, so 64, 71, 65, Watterson, Gene Snyder. All of those are covered and taken care of by the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. Here with us today from District 5, the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, is Matt Bullock to tell a little bit about their preparations, what they're doing, and what they're going to continue to do over the coming days. So I'm going to turn it over to Matt Bullock. Matt?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I don't want to repeat things that have already been said, but we did get started out this morning about 4 a.m. and brought our full allotment of contractors in at 6. And so we are going through, as we speak, a transition of our first crew into our second crew who will work a 12-hour shift as well. There were periods of time, especially mid to late morning, where the rates of snowfall were greater than we could clear. We actually stopped salting mid to late morning and just went to plowing. So removing some of that material off the road and then coming back with some salt, which we did early afternoon. With the change into the mixed precipitation and some freezing rain, I guess also with some sleet, it's actually given us a chance to catch up. So we don't have that snow fall rate that we had earlier today. We actually seen some of the interstates this afternoon. I've seen some white and yellow stripes, which I didn't see in mid-morning. So we have made some good progress there. We're going to continue at it until there are no more hazards. So that hopefully we can get a real good handle on the roads before the temperatures get to the point, as Mr. Gordon was talking about, they get to a point where our materials are not very effective anymore. So we can't necessarily push things around very well if they're still bonded to the pavement. So we do ask the folks, instead of using the resources like the state police and the LMPD and other local agencies for road conditions, that they can use our resources with the Transportation Cabinet. That's snowky.gov, snowky.ky.gov. And that's a good resource for roadway conditions. So we can let those agencies do what they need to do, and that help people out on the roadways.
Thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate that. One other thing that I'd like to clarify is that even with Kentucky Transportation Cabinet and Louisville Metro government that are both out there doing all the snow plowing, that does not mean that every road is going to be touched. If you live in a subdivision, for example, your homeowners association might be responsible for those roads. Or maybe if you live on a city street like I do, but it's at the end of a cul-de-sac, that is not on the snow route. We have our snow routes that are publicized and keep up to date when the routes are complete, if they've been salted, if they've been plowed, if they've been both. Again, I made reference to that earlier, but not every street is touched. We try to get the most active streets with the most cars so that we can continue to get everyone on all the major and secondary streets covered. We'll continue to do that. But all that to be said, be careful. I know if your street is plowed or not, but please be careful. Next, I'm going to bring up Kelly Jones from Emergency Management Services. Kelly's going to give us a few stats on the activity that all of our emergency services providers have been working to help others that have been in need throughout the day today as we've been experiencing the winter weather. So now I'm going to turn it over to Kelly.
Thanks, Mayor, and I don't want to echo too much of what anybody said. I'm one of the old hats around here. I lived through a lot of things. The 74 tornado, winter 77, 78, 93, 94. And one thing I've learned, and I don't say this flippantly, is Louisvillians, if we take care of each other, we always come out on the other side and we come out ahead. It's about taking care of your neighbor, your friends, your family. Each Louisvillian And don't forget your pets. They're very important as well. Very important. I just want to briefly thank my staff here in the ELC, our 911 dispatchers, our call takers, all our first responders, and the folks that work at the hospitals, the people that are medically necessary to make this community safe. I thank each and every one of those people. Just one thing to say, remember to check your generator safety. We don't want any fatalities or injuries because someone didn't use a generator properly. If you are involved in a non-injury accident, you will be asked to file a delayed report, accident report, and you can do that by going to KY State Police. That's kystatepolice.ky.gov. If you are involved in an injury accident, you would call the police as you would any other time. And I would like to say today that our folks have worked hard. 93% of our calls today have been answered within 15 seconds. The rest of those within 20. If you find yourself stranded on the side of the highway, if you're in a life-threatening situation, please call 911. If you're not, remember to call 574-2111 and hit option 5. Since 6 this morning, we have taken 682 emergency calls, 721 non-emergency calls. I actually checked against last Sunday. We're actually down in calls. That's good. That's really good. It means folks are paying attention and doing the right things when we have less calls on a day like this than we do on a normal working day. We've only got 1 tree down right now, 4 wires down, 40 non-injury accidents today, minus the ones that may have been reported online. 6 injury accidents. All these things are good numbers, and it tells us that folks are listening to us. And again, just please take care of each other, and we can do anything we want around here. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Kelly. I know we want to get the questions from the media. Let me just talk about a few cancellations that we're aware of so far. As everyone probably knows, Jefferson County Public Schools has canceled classes for tomorrow, as have other school systems around the area, and a lot of other schools as well, independent and private and parochial schools. Stay attuned to them for the latest information. But here are some other cancellations as well. TARC has suspended its evening routes. The last routes ran at 4 p.m. That includes TARC 3. We don't want anyone to be stranded. So if for some reason someone's return trip on TARC was impacted, folks can call 502-442-1675 for an emergency ride. That goes for TARC or TARC 3 passengers. If someone was stranded because of the suspension of service for the evening, please make that call. TARC will make a decision sometime late this evening, early tomorrow morning about service for tomorrow. In the urban service district, waste pickup for today and tomorrow has been suspended, and we'll let you know as soon as possible about a decision for Tuesday. Meals on Wheels service has been suspended, and we hope to get that back up and running as soon as that's safe. You can follow along on my accounts on social media, on X, on Facebook, on Instagram. We're providing the latest information that we have from the city government, metro government, as well as from other partners. As soon as we have it, we're going to put it out there and continue to do briefings for the public throughout this snow event and ice event. The emergency shelters will continue to stay open, and should there be major power outages and we need more emergency shelters, we will provide information on that plan as well. I also want to remind folks that metro government does not clear sidewalks. That's the responsibility of the homeowner, of the business owner, of the renter. And I know that shoveling snow can be strenuous. My son was out this morning shoveling our driveway, and he got a good workout doing that. So please be careful. I just want everyone to know that is not the responsibility of metro government. That is the responsibility of the homeowner, the business owner, the renter. But please be careful when you're doing that. If you need some help, please, this is another way that you can help out. Just extend a great Louisville welcoming arm to somebody else who might in need. And if you have a snowblower and you can share that with others, that would be great, things like this. But this is Louisville. We help each other. We support one another, particularly during challenging times. And this is one great way to do it. Again, as we get to wrap up this and get to questions, a few reminders. Stay home if at all possible. Stay warm. Stay connected. Stay safe. And stay informed about what's going on. We'll continue to keep you up to date with all the latest information. Thank you, Louisville, for heeding our warnings. Thank you for staying home on this cold, snowy, now getting ready to be icy Sunday. We'll continue to keep you up. We'll continue to work on the roads to get them safe and continue to provide the needed Metro government services around the entire county. Thank you all so much. And with that, I'll open it up to any questions from members of the media.
How accurate is the snow map? How quickly does that update, and should we be taking data from it?
So the snow map, thank you, great question. Anyone that is publicly available, it's on logic.gov/snowmap. You can see a picture of it right to the right. Let me just explain what it represents. That represents the 110 snow routes that we have, which cover 2,700 lane miles across the county. If it's updated as the routes are completed. So just because by now, my guess is I know that there are trucks on all the routes. Of the 110, there were 6 when we started this press conference that had not yet been completed, but they were actively being plowed and salted as we speak. Green means that they've just been completely salted, but they might be being plowed right now. Purple means plowed and salted. It is updated as the routes are completed. It takes about 12 hours for us to make a pass of the entire city. So again, we started at 7 a.m. this morning, and now we're going to beat that 12 hours for the first pass. We're going to continue to go at it overnight again through the challenging weathers. But that's how to read that map. We're working to get more real-time data on that. But right now, as the routes are completed, it's updated. But again, just because a road has been plowed does not mean you should be driving on it. So please continue to stay home. There's been tremendous accumulation. You heard John say earlier, he's expecting us to get between 9 and 10 inches. A lot of that came fast and furious. It's coming down now hard as well in freezing rain. So just because it's been plowed, it might have gotten covered up pretty quickly. We're going to get back to it, but that doesn't mean it's safe to drive on. Thank you. Yes, sir.
So we talked about it already, but I just want to close down on it. How do you all plan to address this new weather going into overnight? Again, we talk about what steps are being taken right now.
So we're going to continue to treat the roads. We're going to continue to plow the roads. Our biggest concern going into the overnight hours with the freezing rain is power outages. We've been fortunate today that we have not suffered any material power outages across the county. The biggest risk to our power lines with the LG&E is ice. You heard them talk about that at yesterday's briefing. They have extra crews on standby in the event that ice does start causing power outages. They'll be responding to that as quickly as possible. LG&E will. That's our biggest concern going into the overnight hours. But our snow team is going to work through the night. We have a new shift coming in at 7 p.m. They'll be getting back out on the roads, and they'll be working all night long. Shift will come back on tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. They'll be working all day tomorrow. We're going to keep working at this 24 hours a day until we get the roads back into a condition where they're safer than they are right now. Any other questions? Again, we'll continue to stay informed. We'll provide as much information as we can in real time on our social media channels. We'll continue to keep the public informed with as many briefings as we need to do. Thank you, Louisville, for heeding all the warnings, for helping others, for staying off the roads as much as possible. Let's hope that we get through this as quick as possible and that the ice and snow ends. We'll continue working until we get the job done. Thank you all. Have a good evening.